Joseph Popoff, and Tim spoke to them at a protest in Newcastle West earlier today. But it's a debate with more than one side. David Roy is a University of Newcastle lecturer in education with a focus on equity and disability, and he's with me now. Hello, David.
Good afternoon, Paul.
When Garth kicked off this conversation this morning, I think you tweeted that there is more than one side to this, and I'm keen to hear what that other side is. What picture would you like to paint this afternoon?
Well, listen, I agree. Advocacy is key for supporting all people with a disability. I think, though, we've got to just take a pause and say, are we actually getting rid of advocacy? Because we're not. There's going to be additional funding coming through NDIS. Now, will it work or will it not? As always, within these things, they should be monitored. But what it's actually going to do is what NDIS is meant to be doing, and that is empowering the very users to make a decision about who is their advocate and for them to use the money that will then be attached to their funding to pay for that. Because at the moment, we get block granting given out to a select group of people. And we don't necessarily, with all these groups, have any accountability if they actually undertake it. There is a large number of grassroots movements which are unfunded that have had to be started because some disability advocacy groups have just said, well, we're not going to deal with that issue because it's too hard. The reason we had to have a parliamentary inquiry into the treatment of children in education in New South Wales was because several major disability advocacy groups, just when they were asked to support children, said, what do you expect us to do?
So there are faults with the current system, and you're saying the new system under the NDIS will do advocacy, although Mark Grissom, who Garth spoke to this morning, from Disability Advocacy New South Wales, where he's the chief executive, said the NDIS will not fund advocacy.
If you look at the information linkage capacity document, the ILC that was referred to, or even the local area coordination document, which is for those people not on the NDIS, it states very specifically you can choose who you would like to assist you, and they will support you for getting a local area coordinator, a planner, or an advocate. I'm actually reading it right in front of me here on my iPad. There are some fantastic advocacy groups already funded in New South Wales. And there are some that seem to have lovely offices and seem to do very little actual action, except spend the past 9 months saying, stand by me, fund our staff. In fact, have used incidents that were in, say, the 7:30 report on October 25th last year to say, this is an incident, that's why we need advocacy. Which was deeply ironic because the very family being portrayed in the programme went to the media because that very same advocacy group refused to support them.
It does sound like the kind of thing that everybody is finding, everybody who works in the area of providing services to people with disabilities, are finding this very difficult transition phase from the way it used to be, where you were funded and then disabled people would come, or people with disabilities would come to you and say, what can you do for me? And they would go, this is what we provide, like it or lump it. So the whole change in philosophy of the NDIS is supposed to be people with disabilities come to people who provide services and go, this is what I need. They go, well, I'll see if I can figure out how to provide that, and they don't get funded until they do. That's generally seen as the philosophy. So everyone's struggling with this. I don't think it's a walk in the park for anybody.
No.
You're fundamentally saying the advocacy groups need to struggle with it as well.
Well, I'm basically saying that they are going to be funded, but it's going to be purely federal, and there'll be additional money coming into NDIS as has been listed by Christian Porter. The big issue for me is there's been document after document coming out that says only 10% of people with a disability are going to end up accessing NDIS. And if I was a disability advocate, I'd be standing up and shouting, why are the other 90% not going to be accessing it? We need this to happen. Why are only 4% of people with a disability accessing NDIS? I believe we should have the hashtag empower me, not just stand by me, so that those advocates that work so hard to support people who are some of the most disadvantaged in our society, and many of these advocates have a disability themselves, that they are recognised and funded, and those other groupings, shall we say, that have jumped on the money gravy train provided by government, where they get $40 million over 3 years and there's no accountability and transparency provided, that we get rid of those who are not supporting people, so that the best advocates actually get recognised. Because if I was using NDIS money in our household, I would want to say, I will pay you the NDIS money coming in out of my fund to do the job I've asked you to do.
Can you
don't get paid. Can
you just flesh out for me, because I'm not fully across it, who are the 4% who get access to the NDIS and who are the 96% who don't?
Only 4% people so far, from the last statistics coming out of the Australian government, are currently using NDIS. It is expected that from their records, they expect only 10% of people to actually be using NDIS when you look at the size of the disability population in Australia. Now, for that might well be because there's a number of people who have a disability but feel they don't need the additional support because of the nature of their disability. But that worries me, because I know there'll be a large number out there who potentially could be accessing more of NDIS to give them equity in society. And I actually want to advocate to say, let's have those people being fully supported so that we have a truly equitable society.
People like what are not accessing the NDIS who should be? Can you give us an example?
I would love to, but no one is saying. I'm just looking at statistics that we keep getting from the
righto.
are accessing. They say only 10% will, and no one is saying where's this other 90% disappearing to.
Okay.
Advocates should be asking.
Interesting to get the other side there. It'll be interesting. See, Queensland government obviously isn't listening to your argument. The Queensland government has reversed the decision and they're going to keep funding advocacy, not to the same tune of dollars as the New South Wales government is withdrawing from the service.
Yeah.
It's a much cheaper system they are funding in Queensland, but it's a very complicated administrative thing to go. NDIS should be doing this. People are saying, well, they won't. People are saying the New South Wales funded thing is doing what we want. You're saying, well, no, it's not. It's very difficult for someone who's outside the system to get a handle on precisely what's going on.
Which is why I think the Ombudsman needs to keep a close eye on it. And if the Ombudsman finds that actually services are being severely disadvantaged, there must be pressure put on government to reinstate advocacy funding. So I don't think it should be a black or white argument. I just think it should be monitored to see actually does this work better, because it's got the potential to, but in all these things it is as yet an unknown. So I'm not saying don't fund the advocates, I'm just saying let the system transition and see if the transition works. Where it doesn't, make it better.
Okay, interesting as always, David. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Paul.
David Roy, who's a University of Newcastle lecturer in education with a focus on equity and disability. Now it's 3:25 on 12:33.